Alright, well, down to the brass tacks of it. What we lack in this life, what Americans lack in this life, what has been programmed and trained out of us without our knowing, is we lack self-discipline. And we're addicted to comfort. And the powers that be are always going to make sure that you have all the comfort and convenience that you need, so you don't ever have to engage with self-discipline. We set our lives up. It's like from, you get out of high school, or, middle school, if you quit there, I don't know. Anyways, you get out of school, and you've got hopes and dreams and plans for this life, and then somewhere along the lines, you just realize that your dreams aren't going to be met, so you just kind of settle into what's comfortable. And you could be there. You could be settling for a whole lifetime, 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, 40 years. Because we don't engage with self-discipline in America, we find ourselves just lost. We're just a lost nation. A lost nation of lost souls that don't even know how to get in touch with their own consciousness. Have you ever meditated? Have you ever just cut all the distractions out, shut your eyes and pay attention to your thoughts, analyze your thoughts? These thoughts are on a constant repeat. 90% of the thoughts you thought of today, you thought of yesterday, and so on and so forth. But what you begin to access, the divinity that you begin to access, in my case, via meditation, via these walks with my dog, with Gracie. I just get to be in nature, reflect on my life, reflect on behaviors, reflect on thoughts. That's when you start getting downloads from the other side, from the divine consciousness that we all are. We've been trained to look outside of ourselves for anything, happiness, savior. And we fail to realize that we are the ocean in a drop. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are so much more powerful than we're given credit for, than any of the powers that be are gonna give us credit for. They don't want us to know our power. Because if we knew our power, it would squash theirs instantly. So, at the beginning of the spiritual journey, I had decided that I wasn't going to kill bugs anymore. I had, 4 or 5 bugs a day, mosquito hawk, a weevil, a fly, a spider, just little animals, or little insects, in my house. And I'd squash them, flick them down the disposal. But one day I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. And mind you, I was killing 4 or 5 insects every day. I decided I'm just going to scoop them up with a piece of paper and put them outside. They're God's creatures. They deserve to live just like I do. So one day, I scooped, 3, 4, 5 insects up, put them outside. And you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I never had another insect in that house afterwards. The next day, no insects. The next day, no insects. Next day, no insects. I was like, is this real? So I put it to the test again. Every time it rained, and this, I mean, we're talking the rainy season in the fall. Every time it rained, I would have, 4 or 5 fire ant beds pop up in my yard. And I would just go get my orthene ant poison, kick the mound over, put poison all over it, and they'd be dead in 6 hours. Well, I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to stop poisoning them. And I'll be damned if the following day, all the beds in my yard, like 4 or 5 ant beds, disappeared. They just, I don't know how an ant bed flattens itself out, but they legit disappeared. That was just beyond miraculous to me. I couldn't believe that these powers exist. This stuff is real. So after that point, I pretty much dove right into it. Like, wow, these powers. And I had spent about 2 weeks prior to all this in bliss consciousness, which that'll be another video for another time. Anyways, so getting sidetracked. So spiritual journey. You're going to discover that the powers that be, well, I'm not even talking about political powers. There's all kinds of powers. There's media powers, political powers, pharmaceutical powers, and all of them are working in conjunction, and you don't know this. You weren't aware of this. Oh, sorry, I just broke a piece of palm, so I have something to walk with, a walking stick. I don't even know what you call those, palm branches? I don't know. Anyway, falling back on the dog. Yeah, all these powers that be, these uber powerful corporations and whatnot that basically pull the strings of the government and tell the government handlers what to do. The lobbyists with all the money that are greasing the wheels under the table. Yeah, those are the powers that be. And they want you sick and dependent. They're feeding you poison. But because they put the name and the ingredients on the box, their hands are clean, are they not? You're the one that won't research what these chemicals are that you're putting into your body. But you'll continue consuming them. We are the fattest, most unhealthy nation on the planet, and we have more pharmaceuticals and more food. Explain that. So, one of the big aspects of the spiritual journey is unplugging from that, what we refer to as the matrix system, the matrix of convenience. The matrix of no self-discipline, the matrix of comfort, perceived stability. Well, how's that working out for you? Have your perceptions changed on the word stability yet? I'm going to pay some attention to my dog real quick. I'm going to talk to her and give her some love and tell her she's a good girl, and I'll be back.